Hi everyone, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Swani and I make PR and lifestyle videos and writing videos. So if you're interested in that, check out the channel and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about the 9 mistakes people make when they're pitching press. How just this random girl sitting on her floor on her very comfortable rug and leaning over her couch know what the 9 mistakes are when people are pitching press. That is because I worked as an editor for 2.5 years. I was an editor-in-chief of a digital media company, and I was also an author. I was a freelance writer. I was a publicist, so I was on the giving and the receiving end of media pitches. So I know all about what makes a really successful media pitch and what makes a not successful media pitch. Now, this video is not to give you or to make you feel bad about your work or to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. If you clicked on this video, you obviously want to know how to improve yourself and how to improve your work, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm just here to make this process a little bit easier for you and to help you out by giving you some tips from my years in the industry. If you are a publicist, business owner, or anyone that wants to get in the press, I have a couple of freebies for you linked in the description box below. The first one is going to be my free PR guide, so how to get PR, just like tips on strong subject lines, how to follow up, all of this we're going to talk about here today. But in the PDF I go a little bit more into detail, and I also have a free webinar for people who want to get PR and don't necessarily have experience or connections. I teach you exactly which tools to use that are free and that you can use right away, so make sure to sign up if you're interested in that. And the last thing I'm going to say before I get started is that I have a course. It's called Pitch to Publish, and it teaches you A through Z how to pitch to press, what pitches to use, who to go for, if your messaging is off, how to frame your messaging, what formats editors want to hear more about, what story angles they want to hear more about. So it teaches you basically everything, how to make your story and how to get it to the press and how to get featured in publications. So okay, really special thing I have to mention: if you sign up in the month of March for my course, you'll get my course and you get 2 personalized coaching sessions with yours truly. So if you want to work through strategy, if you are just in need of like messaging, like how to clarify my messaging, how to get it right, then this is the month for you to sign up. And be sure to do it soon because the offer will expire very soon, and I'm not going to do this every month, so I'm doing it this month. So if you are interested in working with me personally, you're going to get two personalized coaching sessions. We can create a strategy and you'll also get the course. So this is like such a good deal. I think if you need the help, I think this is a good deal. So let's get into the 9 mistakes you are making in your media pitches, mistakes that we've all made. Number 9, ignoring publication guidelines. A lot of the times publication guidelines are in the website, the contacts page. It'll tell you this is how you can pitch us, and this is what we're working on. This is our editorial calendar, so that you have an idea of when to pitch what, like in terms of seasonality. Those guides are there for a reason. The editors work really hard to make those, and they're there for a reason, and they're there to guide you and to let you know when is the best time to pitch me this great product or this great story. If I'm working in March, if I'm working on Women's Month, if I'm working on International Women's Day, that is probably the right time to pitch me a story related to women. And so there's guidelines, they're for you. Make sure to check them out, and that's gonna give you a little bit of more leverage. Number 8, it's gonna be two for one. Number 8 is being rude and being too nice. So being rude, there's so many times that publicists, especially when they're working like with artists or with celebrities, they feel very entitled to an editor's response, to an editor's time. Being very rude like that is not going to work. Try to be as courteous as possible. And on the other side of it, there's being too nice. Like there's not understanding that you are also giving the editor something of value, and that you are showcasing a new story to them, which is something that they can use in the future and that their audience is going to love. So if you are someone who is pitching an editor, don't be like overly nice. Like obviously it's a professional relationship, but understand that you also have something to bring to the table. And that's something I actually did not see the importance of until I became an editor. And I said, wait, actually it's so important for editors to also keep those relationships with publicists. So don't be too rude, don't be entitled to anybody's time, and do not be too nice either. Number 7, did I say number 8? Well, number 8 was back then. Number 7 is now. Not establishing some sort of connection to the editor right off the bat. I can't tell you how many times I have just like the pitch has not been, like somebody has pitched me something and I've said no at the time, or I just don't know where to place it. But they're like, oh, let's do, like, can we do coffee, or can I buy you coffee or lunch or whatever? And I've said yes, simply because sometimes it just, like, my schedule was open for it, and also because they maybe followed up or they were very nice about it, or they just wanted to learn more, and so that is very beneficial. So if you always like try to establish some sort of connection to the editor, even if you're just like following them on social media and they're launching something new, or they wrote a cool new story, like try to connect with them in that way. Number 6 is only pitching one angle. That is such a huge mistake that people make. They only pitch one angle, they only sell the story from one way, and there's a million ways to tell your story. And that's actually why I created my course, Pitch to Publish, because there I teach you there like all of the different angles that you can extract from your one story, so you don't only have like that one angle to pitch to one publication, and if they say no, then you have to go to the next one. But you can continuously pitch some new angles, because you're going to learn how to identify what those are for you if you take my course. Number 5, your subject line is getting deleted. I'm going to incriminate myself and say that I used to do this very often when I had a crazy inbox and no time to check emails. If the subject line was not strong, or if it was something that I knew right off the bat I was not going to cover or feature, I would just delete it without even opening the pitch. So you want to make sure that your subject line is tailored, especially for those publications where you really want to get featured in, that it's tailored to them and that it's strong. If you download my free PR guide, I give you examples of really strong subject lines that you can just copy and paste. Number 4, this is another 2 for 1. I promise I haven't had anything to drink yet, but it is a Thursday. So anyway, number 4, not following up enough and following up too much. There's a little balance there that some people just don't understand how it goes. But you don't want to leave the pitch just sitting in their inbox or in their folder. You want to be able to give reasonable follow-ups and let them know, like, hey, ask them if they're interested in the story, etc. And following up too much, like if you're following up, I would say more than 3 times and you still don't hear back. Like one time I had somebody follow up, I think it was like probably 7 times for an event that was happening like in 7 days. Like they really wanted the coverage, but for us it just didn't work out. And then for them, it just like, it looked so bad because the follow-ups were just so, like the person felt just very entitled to my time. And so you don't want to follow up too much. Like don't be that person who's like, hey, just following up, just following up. Which brings me to my next point. Number 3 is not following up the right way. Okay, you can follow up once and say just following up, but if you're going to follow up again, try to include a new element to the story, whether it's a different angle, it can be a new asset, it can be something else. Like just think of something else, something to add to that story. So if the editor has already looked at the email and they're like, no, I'm not interested, but you present them a different angle in that follow-up, then maybe that could work, or something that they could work with a little bit more. So don't just follow up saying, oh, just following up. It's like my biggest pet peeve is when I get pitches, like especially if it's like the second follow-up, just following up, like you've already followed up, I've seen it. And so you just want to try to add that different element into your pitches. Number 2, keeping the pitch too vague. Oh, I'm just sending this for your consideration, just so that it's on your radar. That's fine, but I always say try to connect it to seasonality, try to connect it to trends, try to connect it to editorial calendar, whatever is happening in the moment, so that when you send that pitch, there's something that's like timely, right? Because if not, then the editor is just gonna sit down and gonna say, okay, maybe I'll save this, maybe it'll work in 4 months from now. And you're not gonna get that, you're not gonna get that story that month. So you wanna try to connect it to something that's trending. I teach you all about how to do this in my course, and I keep talking about my course because it's an amazing course. It really is. I made it exactly for people who want to like fill that gap between like I'm pitching myself, or I'm pitching a product and I'm not really sure. I'm like doing it kind of blindly because I don't know if the editor wants or needs this story. So I was an editor, I understand what they want, what they need. So that is why I created the course. Anyway, number 1, drum roll, is not including story ideas. This is a huge thing, and I always tell people you got to include story ideas, even if it's like 3 bullet points, 3 headlines of how this can fit in their publication, whether it's a vertical or it's just like a story idea or a headline idea for how this can this story can look. A lot of people don't do this out of respect, like they don't want to like overstep their boundaries with the editor. I always recommend that you do this because here's the thing, editors are very busy. Let's say an editor opens your pitch at 5 p.m. and they're like, oh, this is good, but like, you know what, I gotta go, I'm super tired, let me just save this for another day. They forget to come back to it. They don't even remember like really what it's about. So if you give them headline ideas, they're like, oh wait, this is really good for this vertical, let me assign this story to this person right away. Hey, let me, like, they'll forward your email, say, hey, can you take on this story for tomorrow or whatever, or for, you know, can you work on the story? They'll send it to a writer. So if there is an idea there that you can help them work through, even if they don't go exactly with that idea or with that headline, then but they're already kind of thinking like, oh, this is where it could be a fit. When they get your pitch, the work is already going to be done for them. Like, it's going to be very easy for them to say, yes, this is a great fit for us, because you've already like thought like them, you've already did the work for them. And so I always recommend sending at least a couple of story ideas when you send your pitches, especially if you are sending personalized pitches to publications. Send those story ideas, let them know how this could be a fit, and the editor's gonna love you because you're gonna make their lives easier. And editors need creative ideas because it's an industry, media is especially an industry now where it just goes by, everything is fast, everything is, you know, due yesterday, and that of course leaves little room for creative space and creative breathing. So if you can offer them that creativity that they need, that's going to be amazing, and they're going to love you for it. My nails today match my book, The New Latina, and I think that's so cute. Anyway, I hope that this helped you a lot. If it did, give this video a thumbs up because it'll help me help you. It'll help me continue to help you. And make sure to check out all the free resources I have if you are ready to get into the press and you're ready to learn how to pitch. Check out my course, you're gonna love it. All right, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next time.